had a report of a structure fire from a commercial building around 5:30 this evening. When our crews arrived, we had smoke and flames showing from the second floor. Heavy fire conditions and made it unsafe for the crews to make entry. They initially tried to make entry into the building and were pushed back by the flames and the heat. Shortly after they arrived, we had a collapse from the roof and the second floor, which made the walls of the building unstable. Initially, we had the crews that arrived call for a second alarm assignment. Initially, it went to a third alarm assignment, and at that time, we had approximately 45 apparatus on scene and over 110 firefighters. It took somewhere in the neighborhood of a little over an hour to get the flames and the situation under control. We have it under control now, and they're working on hotspots, which will probably be working throughout the night.
Are there any injuries to either firefighters responding on scene or anything?
At this time, there have been no injuries to any firefighters.
And a cause, and we don't know what started it.
The cause is under investigation. We have the state fire marshal en route. But at this time, we have no idea what caused the fire. This is an abandoned building, and from what I understand, there's been fires in this building in the past, several years back.
We understood it was an old funeral home.
I believe it was an old funeral home, and it's been closed for many years, been boarded up for many years.
Any people that were like nearby at the time that saw anything or what made it?
The call came in from a passerby to 911, and then they had a second call reporting a similar situation.
How dangerous was this for the firefighters?
This is an extremely dangerous situation that they were put into. One of the things that I'd like to commend the firefighters on scene is we had structures nearby that were in danger. The 7-Eleven to the east of it, and then another building to the other side. Once they had the floor collapse, there was a danger of wall collapse, the building actually coming down. And on the back corner of the building by the 7-Eleven, there's actually a propane tank. So we had our hazmat folks in there cooling that tank, protecting that exposure, keeping from us having another problem, a bigger problem than what we had.
Any damage to the 7-Eleven at all?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. Like I said, the firefighters did an amazing job protecting the exposure that was that close on both sides.
And how much longer do you anticipate being here?
This could go on through the night with the smoke and the smoldering, because it's unsafe for our folks to go in and actually put out those hot spots, so they're having to hit them from a remote location.
Do you anticipate, like you said, the walls of the building are unsafe? Do you anticipate it collapsing at any point?
We've got folks from code enforcement coming out to look at the building, and the building will probably have to come down in the near future. They're going to evaluate that and make sure it's safe.
We know it's an old funeral home. Do we know how old the building is?
I do not at this time.
For the fuel tank next to it, was that one of the first things that was also addressed when everyone got on scene?
Anytime we have a hazardous condition like that propane tank or the actual fuel at the 7-Eleven, they sell gas there as well. We always protect those exposures first. So.
I know you mentioned that could be going on for a couple hours, but just describe again the areas that are shut down at this point. How long?
Right now we have State and Union Street shut down in Laura at this point. We are cutting crews loose as we're able to put them back in service, and as we do, we'll start opening up some of those streets.
And like you said, 45 units and 100 plus firefighters
yes,
on scene. Is this one of the larger responses to something like this?
This is a large response for our department, yes. And this happened simultaneously with a structure fire that was in the next district. So we had quite a bit of our folks downtown fighting fire.
All right, everybody good? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.